And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52. The one. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. On the run, this is Gray. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. A good positive play there, 9 yards, but still third and long. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Here we go now.
He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a first and 10.
Green, 39!
They'll run it now with Gray. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The numbers for him from a week ago, 18 carries, 71 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. First and 10 at the 19.
Here we go.
They'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here.
Here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We'll look now at the lineup defensively for Chicago. Coming into this one, ranked number 19 in the NFL against the pass.
Defending the pass has not been one of their strong suits throughout the season, but they have any hopes of making waves in January. They've got to improve in this area.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Here we go now.
On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Back at the 16 now after the sack. Here's 3rd and goal.
Now let's go.
Back to throw. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. Throwing is Mariota. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ferguson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 14 carries, 52 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes a leading rusher.
To throw Mariota. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now Mariota. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Throwing, Mariota. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. In for the score. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Point after, right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Looking to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
They go play action here on first down. Looking deep downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays, Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. At 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Now they try the right side here. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Mariota now on 2nd down. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Where we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now Gray. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On the ground, it's Gray. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out.
Set. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. Toward the sideline, he will have the 1st down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet inbounds. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll run it here. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Every now and then I scratch my head when I see the draw play called, especially after a great run the previous play. Keep attacking. Sometimes the draw play develops slowly, and that allows the defense to react.
of the gun. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Carroll. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll look to throw now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Have a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
How about the timing on that one? Where they were in sync, weren't they? Three-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Mariota. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Mariota now to throw on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Here's Mariota. Throw left side complete. It's Ferguson. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. From the left hash, this from 34. And this one is right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point's not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now a handoff looking right. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will be taken at the 13. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Bears take over. Time to look now with our spotlight at the quarterback, Marcus Mariota. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great. That's where you're going.
The protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. A drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
A first down throw for Mariota. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On 3rd down, Mariota throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give them a first down. From the red zone now, Mariota. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again, Mariota on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. That's Ferguson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll throw again. Mariota to the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. Give him a gain of 4. Able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. Mariota again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. To the air again, Mariota. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Again, it's Mariota. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
And his kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And up past the 35, a very good return, but a penalty down. That may negate all the good
Block
work.
in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Hey, hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 3rd down, that's Gray. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. This is taken around the 12. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Finding room at the 30. And all the way up to the 46. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Mariota on 1st down. Finding room inside the 40. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we'll skip over to Louisiana. Check on the Saints at home in New Orleans. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. The Cardinals need to be about perfect in this stretch as they could get back to 500 at 6-6 with a win. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting L.A. Chargers. The Bills locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. In our game, it was Marcus Mariota with a strong first half. His guys lead on the road in Minneapolis as we send you back up to U.S. Bank Stadium in Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what?
The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the gun, Mariota. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. The Bears on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fielded at the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up.
Let's go.
Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two. One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. on play action. They'll throw. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there and tried to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right. Hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
The Vikings on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Now let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Vikings send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And we'll see what he can do on the return. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Onto the field now come the Bears. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. First down, Mariota. Wide open receiver complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty. Because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play at any spot on the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
To throw is Mariota. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
The Bears on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still third down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable third down, 3rd and 2. Mariota now. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Mariota now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 3rd and short yardage. Mariota. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown. And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Mariota to throw it. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So a favorable bounce that time, to say the least, and he's able to convert the field goal there from long distance.
Yeah, the guys behind the end zone didn't need to hike the net up for this one. That thing was a dying quail, but he finds a way to boink it off the crossbar and make it drop through.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cohen. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Looking to throw, and this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. And now running right through it. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
So from 2nd and 10, it'll now go to 2nd and 15. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Now Mariota. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. 3rd and long here for Mariota. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ferguson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And out now come the Vikings. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They run again here with Gray. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding, offense.
So they'll walk him back half the distance.
Here we go now.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
Now's a good chunk of yardage picked up there. And big fella, sometimes he doesn't need a whole lot of space created. He can make his own way.
And he's going to have the 1st down as he gets this up to his own 11. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they're not not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. The Vikings on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 12 more yards there and another first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
Now back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to it? Maybe his rhythm is just off. He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Vikings send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Well, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now Mariota. And caught left side, Olsen. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. Over the middle, complete. That's Ferguson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Foul, face mask, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Mariota now on second down. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
3rd and goal. Mariota. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. We'll check on his status when we get back. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Still about 3 yards shy of a 1st as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Throwing the out route and complete. It's Pierce. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that one will be accepted.
Automatic 1st down.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Throwing here, Mariota. The quick slant caught. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Marcus Mariota. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And maybe that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
Running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play. Back to throw now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Carroll, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Throw left side complete. It's Kelly. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They'll drop to throw. He's to the 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Gray. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. He'll drop to throw. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film. But this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. So that one, an 8-play drive, it spans 75 yards. And it's polished off by a Viking score. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Bears, and it appears they're going to win this game. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Mariota with a knee to the ground, and that should be it. Now on 4th down, Otage, the punt team sending this one away. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Bears, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.